Okay, I want to do some review here and then I'll go to the assignment. Okay, fill out that equation. This is easy. The slope is your m, the y-intercept's your b. So I just go -3 and 7. There's the equation. Okay. Next problem. So I got to find m and b. This time it tells me the slope, which is m, is -3/4. So I know my m is -3/4. But the b, yeah, we don't know that because all they say is that it passes through the point x, y. Okay, that means if you went right 6 down 2, you'd have a point. That would be one of your points on the line. That's fine, but what's our b? Okay. Well, we use y equals m times x plus b. So the m is -3/4. We know that. Okay. And for x and y, -2 replaces the y, and then 6 replaces the x. So plus you put b. And then I take -3, ABC 4 times 6. -4 1/2, you can deal with that, okay? You can deal with a fraction, so you add 4 1/2. So you got b. Now -2 plus 4 is 2, right? And if I put a half, it's just 2 1/2. Okay. Okay, next problem. Now fill out the equation, but instead this time it just gives me 2 solutions. So left 2 up 7 is one of the points on my line. And then left 10 up all the way to 23 is another point on the line. That would had to be a huge graph to get all that in, but it's there. Now, I didn't give you much room beneath, so do your MB here. Now, we don't have my slope, okay? So if I don't have my slope, xy, we have to apply m, which is always equal to y minus y, x minus x, any 2 points on the line. And we already have our 2 points, so... Okay, I'm going to go over here and figure that out. Okay, so if I have a -2 and a -10, -2 holds the higher x value, doesn't it? So it'd be 7 over -2, and then 23 over -10. So 7 minus 23 is a -16. -2 minus -10, well, that's the same as adding a +10, which should take us to 8. Now divide that and it's -2, okay? So that would be -2. Now the b is the same thing I always use to find b, which is y equals m times x plus b. So the m, I already have the m, it's -2. Then for y and x, we can go here or here. I'll use this one. I'll put 23 as my y replacement and then -10 for my x. So negative times a negative is a positive, then you get 20. So then -20, -20, and that's 3. 23 minus 20 is 3. Now if you wanted to do an input-output check, you could go -2 times, and then pick an x value. Let's put -10 plus 3, and you get 23. Yep. Okay, now here's what we're doing today. You've done something like it already, but it prepares you. You're going to need to know it. It's going to come back at you. An electronics store charges a $20 membership fee. They sell used games for $12.99 each. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that models the cost, and use your equation to find the cost of 7 games. You're finding the cost of 7 games. You've already done this before. You make a box with your units. That's how you write an equation. Dollars and games. It's only 2 units. A 2-unit relationship. Now, time is x, but we don't have a time, okay? So the time would be like your games. Money can never be x, okay? X is time, and it can never be money. Just remember that rule. X is time, it can never be money. Then we come up with our rate of change per dollars per game. What's dollars per, how much does a game, how much do I pay every time I buy a game? It'd be $12.99. So $12.99 times x. Then I make a table, X, Y. Y is dollars, games is X. 0, 1, 2 block. Okay, so before you spend the $12.99, how much money did you pay? You paid 20. That's your coordinate with 0. Then you start adding 12.99. That's 32.99. And then 32.99 plus 12.99 is 45.98. So we got what's happening here. Now after that's filled out, you have one last thing, 7 games, and you need to find the money, okay? So I make my line equals Y. So Y starts at 20, and then the slope, the number we're adding, that's known as your slope. That's 12.99. The 12.99 is called the slope. I've never used that term before, but now that you know what a slope is, that's what it is. It's a rate of change. Okay, so write your equation. 20 plus 12.99 times X equals Y. Now you got to put the 7 into the equation, but it's got to be put in for X, not Y. Okay, so 7, now write it out. Now you simplify each side, okay? Well, this one's kind of easy. Over here we just have a Y. Over here I do the times first and then add 20. There's no variable on that side. So you times, it'd be 90.93. Times always comes before plus, then you add 20. 20 plus 90.93 is 110.93. Okay, so you have solved the problem. And you can go put that up there with the 7. Okay, next problem. Your family spends $60 on tickets to a show. Parking at the show costs $3 per hour. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that models the cost. Then use the equation to find the number of hours you were parked if you paid $80. So you got dollars and hours. Hours is X, dollars is Y. So per. Dollars per hour. Okay, dollars per hour is 3. So 3 times X, that's also known as the slope. Now you're going to hear me start calling that the slope. So X is hours, Y is dollars. Okay, so 0, 1, 2. So you started at 60, okay? Then you're going to start adding your 3. So plus 3 is 63, plus 3 is 66. Line. I need to get to cross that 80 out and put 81, please. Okay. So $81 is a cost. I need to find out how many hours that's going to take to get to 81. Now you could add 3's all the way to 81, but it's kind of... So we got 60 plus 3 times X. So write out the equation. 60 plus 3 times X equals Y. Now this time, Y equals 81, and I'm solving for the X. So cross out your Y, put 81. 60 plus 3 times X equals 81. Now we got a different ball game. Over here there's no operations, but we have the value 81. Over here I need to solve for the X, okay? So you can't just do your operations like you did on the last one. You have to undo the operations. So you get rid of your 60 that's being added by minusing 60. And that would be 21. And then we divide each side by 3, and X equals 7. Okay. $7. Okay, next one. The initial fee to have a website set up using a server is $48. Write an equation that models the cost. It costs $44 per month to maintain a website. Find the cost of 5 months. So you have dollars and months. So months is X, dollars is Y. So per. Dollars per month. The dollars per month is 44. So 44 times X. So Y is money, months is X. So 0, 1, 2. You got $48 to begin with. Okay. Then you start adding 44. $92. $136. Block, and you put 5 in for your months. Okay. So you got 48 to start with. Then we're adding the 44 every month. Okay. Okay, so X equals 5. So now we have the equation 48 plus 44 times 5 equals Y. Okay. So on this side we're set, we just have Y. On this side I can do all my operations. So I can times first to get 220. And I can take my 48 plus 220, 268. So the cost is $268. It's also the cost of 5 months. Okay, last problem. A sailboat begins a voyage with 150 pounds of food. The amount of food they have declines. That's in capital letters for a reason, okay? By 15 pounds per day. It's only one thing you got to do with that declines. Write an equation in slope-intercept forms that models the amount of food you have over time. Use your equation to figure when the amount of food you have runs out. That means when it's down to 0 pounds, okay? So we have pounds and days. So the time is X, the pounds is Y. So per. Pounds per day. Okay, the pounds per day is 15, but it's declining, so we make our 15 negative, okay? So, and then everything else is the same, okay? You just trust the process. So pounds is Y, days is X. 0, 1, 2. So the pounds before the day start at 150. Then I start adding negative 15, not 15, because they're declining, okay? 35, 135, sorry. Then you add a negative 15, that's 120. Then block it and put 0 pounds. 0 goes for pounds, and we have to find how many days it takes to come to 0. So we have 150, and then negative 15 times X. So we have 150 plus negative 15 times X equals Y. So Y equals 0. 0. Okay, so over here I have the value 0. Over here I cannot do the operations because I have a times X. So I need to get rid of the times and the plus. Okay, you're undoing your operations. So you highlight your times because you got to look what's added outside. 150 is added. So you subtract 150. Zero minus 150 is negative 150. And you divide each side by negative 15. So negative 150 divided by negative 15 is 10. So 10 days. Put 10 in that table makes total sense in a logistical. You know, it's running out here as it's going up here.